The state said she was drinking and driving, had Valium in her system, was going twice the speed limit near the residential area, hit two little boys, Mark and Jacob Iskander, on a marked crosswalk. And not only did she not stop, she kept driving. She kept going. And the car only came to a stop because the emergency system decided to shut off the car because, hello, the airbags went off and the car was not in a drivable condition. Oh, and they also said she was racing her, at the time, lover. Yeah, it doesn't get worse than that. It sounds really bad. The headlines are horrible for her. The sentencing of Rebecca Grossman was so bad. And that's an understatement. Rebecca Grossman, we covered her case on my YouTube channel, and oh boy. So we're finally at her sentencing. It did get pushed. She tried to get a new trial. The judge denied that. And even though it took about 4 years to find Rebecca Grossman guilty, imagine the pain that the family had to go through. 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of vehicular manslaughter with gross negligence, and 1 count of hit and run. She was facing about 34 years to life in prison. Now, has Rebecca Grossman taken any sort of accountability for her actions? Has she said sorry to the victim's family? No and no. You'd be very surprised. No, she has not. Instead of serving 34 to life in prison, she wanted probation. Or she wanted to serve in a lower state prison for way less than what she was looking at. This was so egregious that prosecutors wrote, "The defendant has never shown an ounce of remorse for her choices on September 20th, 2020. Instead, she is only blamed other. She has lived a life of privilege and clearly felt that her wealth and notoriety would buy her freedom." Yeah, exactly that. This was not a tragic accident, as the defense continually states. This was murder. Now, of course, at your own sentencing, you can write a letter to the judge, and I'll read you some portions of it. Let me know what you guys think about this. Rebecca writes, "I am not a murderer. I asked you to recognize that true fact." Well, sorry, the judge can't recognize that true fact because that fact is not true. And then also the jury found you guilty, guilty, guilty. My pain, my recognition of the pain the Iskanders suffer, and the pain I watched my family endure are punishments that I already suffer and will for the rest of my life. Yes, that's true. However, you also need to face punishment in terms of going to prison for this. Please consider the suffering when you consider what more punishment to impose on me in this case. It's like, but judge, I've already suffered so much. Like, why should I need to suffer more by serving a time in prison? I did not see anyone or anything in the road. I swear to you, I would have driven my car into a tree to avoid hitting 2 little boys. I don't doubt that whatsoever. If she indeed saw 2 little boys crossing the crosswalk, I'm sure she would have tried to veer her car. I mean, who wouldn't unless you're some sort of psychopath or something? But here's the thing. She was unable to see 2 boys crossing the crosswalk because she was too focused on what the state said, racing her boyfriend at the time, going twice the speed limit, having alcohol in her system, having Valium in her system. So of course you didn't see 2 little boys and his family crossing the crosswalk. I could only imagine the pain the boys' parents, Nancy and Kareem Iskander, feel minute by minute. I will carry my pain for the rest of my life. Now, she said that she left roses at the crime scene. Okay, great. She maintained that she was not driving under the influence of alcohol and that she wasn't impaired and that she wasn't racing. As a matter of fact, she denies everything. The only thing that she hasn't denied was that she was the one that drove the vehicle. This is what she also wrote. "From the very beginning, the facts have been distorted and misrepresented, turning the tragic accident into murder and me into a cold-blooded killer. The voices demanding vengeance and retribution are reacting to the tragic loss of Mark and Jacob, but they do not fairly describe me or who I am. I am not a murderer." Like I said, the headlines look really bad for her. But not only that, she has not taken accountability for anything. She continues to shift her story, deflect to other people, blame other things, anyone but herself. And I will say this, initially the headlines sounded really bad because it was like LA socialite, hit and runs a boy, drives as his body was on the hood for 100 feet, body falls over, and then she runs him over again and then continues running. It was like something like that. They found out that that wasn't true. However, it was more like when she hit one of the boys, he was hit so hard that he flew like over 200 feet and landed elsewhere. That's why his family couldn't initially find him. I mean, does that sound better to you? Like, it's still just as bad. Okay. And here's exactly what the prosecutor said about her. She has blamed the victims, arguing that they were out of the crosswalk, jetted out in front of the car, and that their mother was careless in walking her children across the street when it was starting to get dark outside. Oh, and not only that, she tried to blame her boyfriend lover at the time that she was seeing. He was like a former LA Dodgers baseball player. guy. Her story changed and she was like, well, actually, my car did hit the children, but his car hit the children first. His car hit the children first and the children must have landed on my car, and that's must have been what happened. Of course, there was no evidence to support that, and the jury clearly saw through her and found her guilty. There were so many people that spoke out for Mark and Jacob Iskander. I think they had about almost over a dozen people that came out to speak for them. The boy's uncle said that to this very day, Rebecca Grossman never apologized to the family. And can you imagine this? Can you imagine being, oh God, this just gets worse and worse. So Rebecca Grossman and her family, they had a video. They had a 30-minute video talking about what great of a person Rebecca Grossman is, her background, childhood, you know, her coming over to LA and all that stuff. But it was, can you imagine being the victim's family, having to listen to this video for 30 minutes? I would have walked the hell out of there. And then, you know what? Let me know when the video is done, because I'm not sitting there for 30 freaking minutes listening to this video about this woman who till this very day will not say that she murdered these two children. I don't know, it just seems so out of touch, because I get that this is your sentencing. You want to talk about how good of a person you are, but like 30-minute video, that is quite of a long video. Maybe do like, I don't know, maybe like a couple-minute video or 5-minute video, but it's like, no, Rebecca was so great that we need to do a 30-minute video, have everyone sit there and watch and listen to this. Oh God, I don't know. It just sounds so horrible. I can't imagine. The victim's family must have been like, what the hell is this? I don't even think Helena Hutchins' video, the montage that the family made of her, was even close to 30 minutes. And she was the actual victim in the case. Now, Nancy Iskander, after sentencing, she talked to reporters and she said that Mrs. Grossman never said, I'm sorry for what I did. She only said, I'm sorry for what happened to you. That is not an apology. And I read this in the LA Times, and this just sounds, I didn't even know about this. And it just sounds so, oh my God, it just sounds so bad. Now, Nancy said that she doesn't think that Rebecca Grossman has any compassion. She completely rejects that. She said that when she was at the hospital with the doctor outside of the ER, the doctor had asked about disconnecting Jacob's life support. And you know what? Who did she see there? She saw Rebecca Grossman there. Now, did Rebecca Grossman go up to her, say anything to her? Rebecca Grossman looked her in the eye, didn't say anything. Nancy says that she looked me in the eye. That was the moment to say something. And Rebecca Grossman never did. I feel so bad for this family. Like, I just feel so bad for them. Rebecca Grossman, again, she was sentenced 15 years to life. However, she may be eligible for parole in 9 years. She's in her 60s. Let's say max she gets 69, you know, she gets out when she's 69 years old. But, oh my God, can you imagine getting out in 9 years and you still don't take responsibility for this? Oh gosh, so bad. Anyways. They were disappointed with this sentence because they were pushing for 34 years to life, but instead she got 15 years to life instead. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with this case, if you haven't seen the video that we made about this, definitely check it out, because it's a very sad, tragic case, but the lengths that this woman will go through in order to blame other people. And it's not just her. I know she has like a support system from her direct family members as well. And I don't want to blame the kids too much because they're still kind of young. And I get it. You know, you're like in your teens, maybe early 20s or something like that. I don't remember. And you believe your mom's innocent. I don't know. They just don't think their mom did anything wrong. Or they don't think that the mom is responsible for this or committed the murder. I don't know. Whatever. Guys, if you guys enjoyed watching this, let me know what you guys think about this case in the comments below. We do live streams as well. Feel free to pop in, say hello. We live stream on YouTube and Twitch. YouTube for true crime stuff usually. But I don't know. Doing outros are always so weird. Oh yeah, join the Discord if you guys like. The link is somewhere in the description box. But we do have a Discord. Feel free to join in. We have a true crime section. If you don't want to talk about true crime stuff, we have other categories as well. Feel free to hop in and say hello. But other than that, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Or in the live streams. Yeah. Bye.